Okay, now we're going to learn about scatter plots. Scatter plots are pretty easy to identify. Usually scatter plots are made using a lot of data, and when you enter in your X and Y values for your scatter plots, it basically just shows you whether the relationship of the data is positive, negative, or there's no relationship. Okay, so as I told you guys before, these are your X and Y axes. Okay, so what we have to do here, we have 3 scatter plots, right? So we have to tell which ones are positive, negative, or they have no relationship. So if we look at this one, right, we have all these numbers. So as you can see, they're all going upwards, okay? Each number, each scatter plot, the plots on this graph are all going upwards. So that means that this one is positive. The relationship in this scatter plot is positive. Right here, we see that we have scatter plots everywhere. I mean, we have dots here, here, here. It's hard to tell if it's positive or negative. So we know that this one has no relationship. All right, now this one. Okay, let's go back to this one right here. We see that they are actually moving upwards, and it looks like it's positive. But right here, all of these are going downwards. So this one has a negative relationship. Okay? So that's how you do that. Now, let's get into the number line. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to draw a number line, but I'm gonna draw one just in case. Okay. So here we have a standard number line with the zeros, positives, and the negatives. So our job is going to be, we have to tell if these two numbers here are, we have to tell if they are less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay? So we're given these numbers, and we're going to write what they are on these dashes right here. Okay? And I'm just writing the problems down. That's actually a -1. Okay, so first one, we have 1 and 0. So what we do is we go to our number line here. We have a 1 and we have a 0. You know that these values from here to here are positive, and from here to here are negative. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Well, not the 0. I'm sorry, the 0 is not negative. The 0 is neither positive nor negative, okay? So let's start it off at the 1. Sorry guys, it's hard to draw. Okay, so from 0 on, we know that these numbers are positive, and from -1 on, we know that these numbers are negative. Okay, so we have 1 and a 0. 0 is right here, and 1 is right here, and 2 and 3 and 4. So since 1 is in front of the 0, we know that 1 is going to be greater than 0. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's change this to a -2 to fit our graph. Okay, so now we have -2 and 0. We have -2 here, we have 0 here. Now, we know that all the positive big numbers, or the numbers that are greater, are going to be on this side, okay? Or they're going to come first. Usually they're going to come first, okay? So you know that this is the center. Just remember that this is the center, the 0 is the center, and the positive values are here, and the negative values are here. So with that being said, we have a -2 here, and we have a 0 here. Technically, the 0 comes first. And any number that is positive is always going to be greater than a negative number. So in this case, -2 is going to be less than 0. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We have 0 and 2. All right, the 2 is in front of the 0. So the 2 is going to be greater than 0 is. So that means right here, 0 is less than 2. Now, if we were to switch this, if we were to switch it, we will see that 2 is greater than 0. Okay, so it's kind of the same, but depending on what number here, it's gonna tell you if it's greater than or equal to or less than. All right, now this one's probably gonna be a little bit difficult. I'm sorry. Okay, we have -1 and -2. The number in front is going to be the biggest number. -1 is greater than -2. Well, I bet you're saying, well, they're both negative, so that means they're both less than. No, they're not. That's not the case here. Because -1 is in front of -2, and -1 is closer to 0, that means -1 is going to be greater than -2. Okay, so that's how you do number lines. Now, if you have any questions, you let me know. I'm going to give you guys homework on these just to test your knowledge and see what we need to do.